thank you for your time in coming to share in what's been a long but very interesting journey on behalf of the Chamber. We started the feasibility study in 2012. I still see this as a moving feast, because every time we think we have it finished, new inquiries come forward, a new piece of research, another policy document comes out of Europe about the digital economy. So I think the project will evolve, and I think this is a point in time that we can work from. From the outset, I suppose we were very keen to incorporate the unique selling point of this facility at the time, and that was certainly the super speed aspect to it, which Dennis has outlined. Monksland is a wonderful place to do business, as many of you know. But I suppose for startups and those mobile professionals that are commuting to Dublin, really there's very little alternative to working from home. I know in my own case, my husband works in Dublin 2.5 days a week, works at home 2.5 days a week, surrounded by 2 busy children, all the distractions that come with neighbours calling in thinking, you know, it's open house or whatever. So the actual, I suppose, concept of having a permanent workspace for digital stroke creative stroke IT stroke mobile businesses, it was very compelling. Many of you were actually here in September 2012 when we held a very well attended open evening and a workshop to understand what the needs of the businesses and the community was. We took those findings and we issued an open call for businesses to come forward with a workspace need. We used many different channels, and I think one of the best ones that we used was actually LinkedIn, using contacts of people that had been working away but had you know, could work from home or from a local base or regional base if they could. The findings were very, very interesting. All types of companies came forward with ideas, from the very small creative startups right through to IT companies looking at relocating of 10 employees, and also, very interestingly, the multinational community in Monksland were very keen to engage with the project. They are, you know, have worldwide teams coming in terms of training and development, and really are you know, could see a role for this project in their overall mix. One of the things we wanted to do, and you'll see on the banner that, you know, it's next generation. And while, you know, a lot of us are familiar with the concept of hot desking, we've researched and found that there's new formats, I suppose, of working, things like co-working, that are emerging in Europe and indeed in many of the urban locations that could work very well in Athlone and in Monksland. Just to tell you a little bit about that, that would be where you don't only just want a desk, you want the environment where you can actually share projects and collaborate with others that mightn't have the same skill set as you, but could actually help your business go further. And this co-working community is throughout the world and really, really interesting to watch, and I really think it has a key role to play within this project. The other area that the Chamber are very keen to incorporate into the proposal is the whole area of youth entrepreneurship. They see themselves very much more than just landlords, and I think that's really important. Gone are the days when you'd literally build an enterprise centre and rent out space to your tenants. There's a whole developmental role that needs to come with the responsibility of doing that. So youth entrepreneurship, with very high levels of, stubborn levels of youth unemployment are still there. So the youth enterprise is an area that's emerging, and an anchor project would be very much part of what we would love to see as part of this project, and we feel the demand is there. We were very happy with the level of demand that was coming forward, and then I started to search for premises, and I think that's where things started to slow down considerably. In that, while we would have thought that there would be an abundance of property, unused property, underutilised property in Monksland, that very much wasn't the case. I suppose of the time, think of this 2012, 2013, anything that was available, well, anything that was free was basically in NAMA or tied up in all sorts of litigation. So we really struggled to find a good location for the project, and I know there was very, very goodwill coming from the community, and particularly some property owners that put themselves forward to house the project and went a long way down the road of trying to make it happen, but for various reasons it didn't. The ideal location of the hub would be 7.5 to 10,000 feet to make it viable. I'm still in old language feet, excuse me, showing my age. And as I said, it's going to be a mix of own door offices where businesses of between 3 and 8 people can house themselves, co-working, hot desking, and supplementary services then in terms of shared communications, shared research, lots of circulation area, and a whole business enterprise and training and conferencing rooms. We're very confident that the project can create a minimum of 26 jobs in its first full year of operation. This is looking at best practice in other locations and achieving just 50% occupancy. So it really can be a very important contributor to the local economy. And I suppose some of those jobs may be taking people in already from existing businesses, but they will be, have the opportunity to work in a very stimulating environment. And I know our other speakers will talk about the financing of the project, and it's something we went into in a lot of detail. The whole principle of such an enterprise centre is that it moves away from the old 4-year, 9-month lease. This is going to be easy come in, easy leave, making it easy for people to come, establish and grow. The enterprise centre is never meant to be your permanent location forever. It's a stepping stone to actually make other things happen in the wider community. So I'd invite you to take, if you haven't got one, take a copy of the summary report, have a quick read. As I said, this is only the start. We might have been a while getting to this point, but I think the favourable conditions that are there, and even the level of interest that's in the room from your attendance is a very good point. So thank you for your interest, and again, any questions, I'm happy to